This is what you lot have always been asking for every time I do a video. This is my master chain. You probably think this is really weird about what I'm about to say, but I put a guitar amp on my master. Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel for Ellis. And today this is gonna be the only video you need to watch to properly mix and master samples like the pros. So yeah, throughout this video I go really in depth on this, and there's a lot of things that I know no one else really does. This is how to like replicate the same sound as people like Q-Beats or Metro Boomin for drums, Southside for drums, all that stuff from literally listening over time. This is the closest I've ever got to making that sort of sound. Just go check out my new live loop kit, which is out now, completely free, just to give back to you lot. And obviously my Lost Pack Volume 1 drum kit, crazy drum kit. I'm gonna be using it in this video a little bit as well. So yeah, if you enjoy learning from this video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want down below. We're doing live streams like every few days right now as well, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of those. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So starting off, we've got a few FLPs loaded up, mainly for mixing and mastering samples, and then another one for mixing and mastering beats. First off, as you see right here, we've got the samples. So yeah, pretty much this is what the first sample sounds like. They're crazy wise, but very basic as well. But this one I want to focus on the fact that it's got a lot of live sounds like strings and stuff over the fact that it doesn't have synths. Pretty much going to show you the whole process. First one I want to show you lot is if you're ever making samples, just to speed up the workflow, instead of doing EQs on like every single channel, like you know this one I've put an EQ on, this one I put an EQ on, this one I put an EQ on. What I recommend is linking it up to a bus. So pretty much to do that, what you need to do is you have the bus channels. You insert 8 for example, put the EQ on just for that simple low cut, because most of your melody will have this low cut with a bass. You know what I'm saying? If you have a synth bass or something like that, I pick whatever channels I want, and down here, this little wire, all you do is you go to where this bus is. Let's say this is the bus. Let's rename it bus. And then I click on this, and I go to this bus channel, I right click it, and click route to this track only. So this means that this will go through to the bus. And for example, I turn the EQ off, you hear the low end, you hear the high end. So yeah, this is a lot more quicker than just putting an EQ on every single sound individually. And also, if you want to route them all at once, what you can do is use hold control, go to all these channels, and then go to this bus, and again, right click, route to this track. So yeah, this then leads me on to the next point, which is using a bus for a master chain. This probably sounds really weird, but a lot of people say like, oh, what's on your master? What's on your master for samples? This is what I got on my master. This is because if you have everything on your main master channel, this means that your bass will go through it as well. Let's say I have an EQ or something. I don't want that going through the bass. This bus will be the master. You see, it says Ellis sample master. This is where I put my stuff on, and I link that to the main master. You know what I'm saying? But the one thing I wouldn't link would be the bass. Then the bass sounds the same, and the rest have the effects on it. That then goes into the next point, my master. This is what you lot have always been asking for every time I do a video. This is my master chain. All right, so first thing we got right here is RT20 retro color. It just has like the normal sort of settings. And the next thing I have right here is just an EQ. This is just to boost like some little frequencies. All of these I tweak every single time I make my samples. But as for this one, I need a little bit more lower mids, a little bit more high mids, so I just boost that a tiny little bit. Next thing I have right here is a gigahertz mid-side matrix. What this is it makes it sound a bit more stereo. It's a bit like a certain stereo shaper, put the side up just by 2 dB, so it's not even that big. And then the next thing, this is the game changer right here. You probably think this is really weird about what I'm about to say, but I put a guitar amp on my master. On any sort of melody, guitar amp, I don't know what it does. It's this preset just makes it sound so much better. Literally a bass amp, because it's got a compressor, tube saturation, which I really like, and I just mess around with these a little bit, down the mids a bit, boost the highs a lot. Next thing I have is just a virtual mix track, which is just a compressor, and then just an EQ right here just to take out those low ends. Always from the EQ as well, don't take out so much low ends so that it affects the melody so much. Just do it so it doesn't even sound that much different. It just doesn't have the lows. What I used to do is I used to always religiously bring it to 200 hertz, brick wall, 200 hertz. But then you just gotta let it breathe a little bit. Yeah, somewhere like there. And then instead of making it a brick wall, just make it like, you know what I'm saying, put a little slide in there. So yeah, the next thing I want to address is how to level in terms of high ends. Because if there's melodies like, let's say a hi-hat, for example, it's got a lot of high ends, so you don't want it to be so loud, because our ears pick up more high end than it does low end. So you gotta keep that in mind. What I always say is you've got to mix with your ears, not your eyes. So yeah, for example, let's say this string melody right here. And so let's say if I boost a lot of the highs in this. As you can see right here, it's still at the same level, but it sounds louder. So you've got to think of that as well. You can't just think of leveling, because if you always mix the same levels, your mixes aren't going to sound accurate. So like, for example, like an 808. 808 is all low end, isn't it? People have like plus 6 dB or something crazy like that, because it doesn't have any high end. If that has high end as well, you won't be able to hear anything else, you know what I'm saying? And so if you do have these harsh frequencies, of course you can EQ them, but you can also do a little VST called SOOTHE. Realize that this sounds really good on melodies as well. So of course it might not look at this one because it doesn't have many harsh frequencies, but if it would, for example, I have this on, See right here, it's effective. You know what I'm saying? If I make it really over-exaggerated, these are the frequencies that get removed. This doesn't actually have a acoustic bass or a synth bass in it, but if you would, for acoustic basses, then keep the acoustic bass in mono. But what you can have a stereo is a synth bass. Of course, this isn't a synth bass, let's just say this is. You know what I'm saying? Imagine that as a synth bass. What I would do a lot of the time is I'd make it stereo, like by just using this knob down here, and I'll put a chorus on. I don't know what it does, but like synth bass with choruses, it makes it more stereo and it just adds this nice little effect. Maybe a little bit of fast distortion, and I boost a lot of the lows and I just take out a bit of the highs. The next one as well, what I want to say is don't be afraid to pan your sounds left and right, like heavily left and right. If you listen to like real samples, really old ones, some of the sounds are fully to the left, like you can't even hear it in your right ear, you know what I'm saying? This is really because a lot of the time when you're making these, you know, sampled sort of sounding stuff, you want it to sound like a sample, right? This is another way to do that. This is literally what QB says as well. Forget the automation, forget all that other stuff. You gotta go back to the roots of this stuff. So I'll say literally right here, as you can see, left, right, simple. And this is so sick when mixing because this enables you to be able to use more sound. For example, so you can hear right here. This is to the right. No, this is the left. This is to the right. But if I played them both together, both in mono, I'm saying it sounds cool, but it's just so like all together, and it's like I want space in my samples. And if I pan them left and right, I'm saying there's so much space right there. Really, whenever you're making samples, you've got a guideline of one in mono, the one left, the one right, and maybe a stereo shift one. So that's already 4 sounds that you can use without making it sound muddy at all. And this also goes for the master as well. As for the master, literally, don't be afraid to make the master more mono. This sometimes makes the sample sound better. I'm not even joking. If the sample sounds so full and so much stuff's going on, literally all you need to do sometimes is just move this knob like that. And then maybe not this much, maybe like half, maybe a little bit less like that. But I've done it so many times it saved my sample because I've listened to it. I'm like, bro, there's like 50 sounds in this. I can't use it. I do this and it sounds so much better. And again, I don't want to keep bringing it up, but with QBeats, they do this. And you can hear in a lot of their samples that they are almost near enough mono. On the note of using so many sounds, sound selection is key with this because you can mix, master how much you want. But if you have bad starter sounds, then you're literally just wasting time at this point. Have a good start to your main melody before you mix it. A lot of the times with my melodies, I would just quickly make them like that. If they sound good before I've even mixed them, I know I don't have to do too much. When you're mixing real life instruments against synths, there's a lot more difference in the sound. So real life sounds have like timbres and stuff like that. Say for example, real life sound right here. As for this, I'm not gonna put like a chorus on it or like some bloody fan drum. Whereas that might sound a bit cool, I'm not trying to achieve that sound. What I might put on is a Corey Wong, maybe a little radiator, saturators, amps, EQs, very simple with that. Whereas with synths, for example, reverb, chorus, you could have a lot of things for synths, literally almost everything. Delays, reverbs, there's different effects you can put on different types of sounds. Like don't just stick the same sound chain on every single sound. You gotta know where the sound's coming from to know how to mix it. And yeah, last but not least for the sample side, don't overthink it. As I was just saying, whenever the original sample, when you're making it sounds good, before you mix it, don't overthink it, because when you do that, you'll overdo it and the mix will sound worse than when it started. I've done this so much with melodies, but I would have a main melody which would sound sick, I'd love it, and then I want to build onto that. This is literally with making melodies as well. I'd want to build onto that and make the melody sound worse than when it started, because I've just added so much and I've overthought it. So literally when mixing, it's the same thing. Don't overthink it. If it already sounds good, just make those little tweaks, like maybe EQs to remove the lows, but don't do too much, because remember, you're mixing from your ears, not from your eyes. But pretty much that's near enough what I want to show you lot today. This is a lot of gems, literally all I use for making samples and beats and how I mix and master every single sound. So yeah, if you enjoyed learning anything from this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys are down below. Streams again coming soon. Got some vlog content coming soon as well, so be sure to go look out for that. On the note, kits, Alive Loop kits still out now, completely free. Lost Pack Volume Bomb Drum kit is out now as well. Both link in the description. Be sure to go check that out. I'll see you later on the next one. Peace.